59 seconds left. The Giants needing a touchdown. Unbelievable plays you will ever see by a shortstop. Both cutoff men were missed. Jeter.
Let's set it off, man. You know what I want to set it off with, man? You see this jersey right here?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna set it off. NYC, stand up, town, motherfucking business. Y'all ready?
Sure.
Yo, I want to talk a little bit about today, man. A couple of things. We want to talk about all this 69 spy shit that's going on, but I kind of wanted to weigh in on just the state of the Knicks, so to speak. Season's creeping up. It's not quite there yet, but I walked out my house this morning and it was that little bit of cool air. I don't know if you guys are out early this morning, and I said, damn, this fall is coming quick. And every time it gets like not cold, but starts to get a little bit cooler, I start to think of the perfect word, crisp. I start to think of football and basketball, and I get excited, man. Hoodie weather, I think of that shit. So anyway,
just around the corner.
Absolutely. So it's been slow with the Knicks, man, but I want to talk about what's the expectations for the season. What do you guys think, Leon? How do you think Leon Rose has done thus far in his reign as the Knicks GM or president of operations or whatever the fuck he is? And do you think the Knicks are a legit contender, and contender for what? Championship, playoff berth, second round Eastern Conference Championship? I'm gonna start with Ed Television, man. What do you think about Leon has done so far? What do you think about the job he's done?
Well, since he got hired on March 2nd, 2020, he started off good. He hired Tim Thibodeau, a franchise coach, defensive-minded coach, a couple good draft picks in Obi, Manuel, you know what I mean? A couple good pickups here and there throughout the last couple of seasons. But lately, I feel like, he's running from the media. He's not really, talking to us. He's not letting us know what's going on, behind closed doors. And us Knicks faithful, we want to know what the fuck is going on with our organization, with our team. What moves, what you got in mind, what's in store, what's going to take us to that championship level, And right now he's just been stagnant. And I feel like first bonehead move he made as a Knicks executive, Knicks president of basketball operations, whatever the fuck title he got right now, is trading Obi. I'm still gonna beat him up, no homo, for that for trading Obi, especially to the Pacers for 2 picks that is not gonna amount to nothing. They don't amount to nothing, those picks. And then when was it? Was it last year's draft? We had the chance to stay with Abaji, that kid that we traded straight to Cleveland, and that's that other kid, Jalen Duren, that we traded him to Detroit. With crazy athletics, powerful center. So I'm not liking the direction for now that team is heading. Even though I love my Knicks, I'm gonna support them, wherever. But I feel like we took a step back, and I feel like he's at the helm. He's at the helm, and he's not making any moves right now that's making noise for us to take us to that championship caliber level, because we need to win. It's all about winning now. The only thing he do good that's an A++ is getting our boy Jalen over here. That was an A++. That was a thesis right there when he put that boy over. But besides that, I feel like he ain't making no noise right now. It's kind of lame right now.
No, I agree. I agree with a lot of what you said. I'm back and forth. I hammer over this thing. I'm gonna, to your point, you spoke about Obi, right? Obi was drafted pretty high, to then turn around pretty much and not see any development, and then kind of give him up for a bag of chips, to the Pacers. But I was thinking about that today, because that was going to be one of my points. But then I said to myself, I'm going to give Leon Rose the benefit of the doubt, because I think that when Obi was drafted, I think they had every intention of making him the starting 4. What I don't think they saw was how good Julius Randle was going to develop, man. I think they looked at him as a stopgap kind of guy, from just to fill that spot till they could draft somebody and get somebody up and running at that 4 spot. But Julius Randle became a 2-time All-Star, a 2-time All-NBA player, and most improved player of the year. I don't think they foresaw that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to give him the pass on that. You know what I mean? Like, how are you going to start Obi when you have a 2-time All-Star in 3 years? Like I said, a 2 most improved player, and he made 2 All-NBA teams. You can't justify starting Obi Toppin, man, to develop him. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, and he wasn't going to stay as a backup. So am I going to be sad to see him on Indiana? Yes, I am. But that's just the New York fan in me. But we're not even sure what Obi's going to be. I think he's going to be good. We don't know. We're going to see this year. I don't even think he's going to start right away, but we'll see what he develops into. But I can't really. The more I think about it, I can't really shit on Leon Rose for that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're right. I guess.
He's yeah. No, I've always felt kind of how you felt, man. But I was just dawned on me. It's not just dawned on me, but I was thinking about it today. Yeah, go ahead. What you say? No, go ahead.
He answered on a couple of good pieces in the last couple of years too. He signed, Isaiah Hartenstein, which is a good backup center. Ball movement. He's a great ball mover. Played great with Ty Lue and the Clippers before he came over here. So we got Vincenzo, and a good 3-and-D wing, undersized, but he's good. But I just felt like it's just been too quiet. They said we're gonna get this person, that person, this person, that person. Maybe it's the old Knick fan in me that is impatient, and I'm like, yo, just pull the fucking trigger. Let's get something going.
I'm with you on that too.
But I also got to transition into the let's just trust the system. But also I don't want us to wind up like Philly. We trust this process.
That we're gonna call trust the system.
Exactly.
Trust the system.
Yeah, trust the system, and then it all fall flats, and then we stack up all these draft picks, and we don't fucking use them. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, but he was also put into like a difficult position. You can't. And I understood what happened. What Obi was trying to do. He's trying to fight for the extra time, but look who he's fighting it for. It's like. Brett Favre, and you got freaking Aaron Rodgers fighting for that starting position. Brett Favre at that point is gonna win every time until he gets old enough and gets out of here. And Obi disrespecting the coach. I don't know what it could be. So maybe he didn't want that hostility toward him because he's still gonna be coming off the bench. Last thing you want to see is Obi pull out a Latrell Sprewell. Start just choking Tibbs in the middle of a game. That shit'll be hilarious though. But Latrell Sprewell, choking niggas like him Sprewell. But I think I can't say he's been doing bad. It's just this year has just been a very lateral move. It's very consistent, and I think at this point they're just hoping that they continue to end where they ended last year, 4th, 5th place, maybe even 6th, and which is what my hope is, because hopefully if we can still show that we're contenders, because if we start going back down to 8, 9, 10 with the same type of team that we went into 4th, 5th, then it's not going to look good, and people are not going to really want to come here. They may and may not. If they show that we're still contending, it could be. But what I did find funny, and I've been talking about this for a long time, man. Yo, Joel Embiid invited homie to his wedding. So,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. We don't know. But I'm telling you, like, it has to be this year. This year was a type of year you needed somebody to really take you to that next step, and there was nobody really there that we could actually afford without losing everything.
True that.
I agree, man. And back to what we were talking about, how I'm back and forth. The duplicity of Leon Rose it's intriguing to me, man, because I mentioned drafting Obi, right? Not seeing the development of Julius Randle, not banking on that threw a wrench in his ability to development of Obi. But then you have moves like Donovan Mitchell, right? Now, on one hand, you say, damn, the Knicks showed restraint, discipline, and patience by not giving up the farm and all the draft picks and all the draft capital and all the players for Donovan Mitchell. But on the other hand, did he kind of egged Danny Ainge on by scouting him front row seat to the Utah game, and that pissed off Danny Ainge a lot. That might have had him jacked. Everyone knows Danny Ainge notoriously he tries to rob people in trade.
Of course.
But I think he ticked him off a little bit, man, because really he got less than what we were offering from Cleveland.
Yes.
So, on one hand, you're disciplined, but on the other hand, are you the cause of the high price? You know what I'm saying? But you got to commend the discipline so far the Knicks, because like Q said, to his point, there hasn't been anything really out there this year. There hasn't been really that much blockbuster moves. We didn't need a Damian Lillard, right? Joel Embiid is not being moved as of yet. Zach LaVine moves around the margins. He's not a game changing.
And Giannis ain't going nowhere.
Giannis ain't going nowhere.
Giannis ain't going up. And we understand the whole Leon Rose, Rich Paul thing, but one thing I think about Leon Rose, man, he was an agent, right? The head of CAA, right? He has no GM experience. For someone with no GM experience, I think he's doing a decent job. And I think that if he doesn't know exactly the game of basketball, he's hiring people around him that do know, and that's what a smart person does. You don't have to be the smartest person in the world, but if you want to be successful, you hire people around you who are smart in certain areas, right? But the one thing I am disappointed in, real quick, is that he was brought here with his CAA cachet to lure these supposedly CAA free agents in, right? Mm-hmm. One of the biggest free agents is Devin Booker. I mean, there's a plethora of CAA clients. Yeah. So far, he hasn't been able to land any big fish. So, is that part of the plan? I like the DiVincenzo move. I think it improves us. It gives us shooting. I think DiVincenzo was like 40% from 3-point range. Obviously, the Jalen Brunson. Everyone was saying he was stupid and overpaid him. We talked about this last week. Now he looks like a genius for that move, right? Yes, absolute genius. I heard somebody compare. They said Jalen Brunson is the biggest Knicks free agent since Patrick Ewing and Carmelo Anthony, and I agree with that. I'm not saying he's better than, but he's the biggest acquisition since then. So
play at a high level too, because we've had a bunch of big names, but we didn't have we had big names when it was past their prime. Exactly. They came over here and died.
We have depth. We have depth. We have a solid team, man. We have a really solid team. I think Julius is going to turn the corner this year in the playoffs. I really believe that. I'm a Julius guy. I wasn't always, but I'm a Julius guy now. I think hopefully, somebody I heard today. Somebody say that RJ, maybe one of the reasons he can't be consistent is because him and Julius are kind of the same player almost. You know what I'm saying? At a different position, but they have they hold the same skill set.
Yeah, they don't complement each other.
Yeah, they don't compliment each other. So maybe that's a problem with RJ's development. But I got to be honest with you. I'm pumped for the next season. And I think that the Knicks will take a step up in the right direction. And when the time is right, if we can I think the play is Joel Embiid. I think that's what the play is. At the end of the day. I think they're waiting in the weeds. They got the sniper rifle out, and Daryl Morey's getting shot in the face when it's time. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think Joel Embiid is the move too. And I heard there's in the rumor mill, the NBA rumor mill. Don't know how true this is. Oh shit, my bad. Got too excited. In the rumor mill, I heard that they're waiting it out to see what's going to happen ultimately with Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland. Looks like he don't want to sign an extension with Cleveland and might test the free agency waters. So maybe that was a ploy, playing chess instead of checkers.
I think he's going to be a Knick. I think
you know what I mean.
He wants to be 100% wants to be here.
So that could be a ploy.
How does that play out though? How does that work though? Like,
so imagine if we got JB still, and then we get Mitchell, JB for sure. And Mitchell off a free agency. He just comes over here and signs if Cleveland don't ship him off somewhere else. You know what I mean? Then we wind up getting somebody from Embiid and not losing much. Ooh, boy,
probably lose quick. Probably won't be able to pay quick.
True. Quick probably go in the deal.
Yeah, I don't see Quick being long term, even though I like Quick, but he's gonna want some money. He's gonna want to start. So
yeah, and Quick, I know he'll love the move to Philly because who he's gonna team up with his college roommate with Maxey, with Tyrese Maxey. Yeah. Them two together. So I think they'll be a good tandem if they link up in Philly. But you could get a couple of veterans, ride the bench, start the bench, whatever,
That's a small backcourt though, man.
Yeah, it is. But remember how small the bad boy Piston backcourt was. And they did their thing.
How do you say no to that, right? How do you say no to that?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But
I mean, I don't like small backcourts either, but
Yeah, but see, the only way I see that working is we're gonna need like somebody at the small guard, or we're gonna have to do something. We're either going, we're gonna have some big people and some small people because our defense is gonna have to be good. It's gonna have to be astronomical and improve. I think we're gonna have to get these boards, But that's why I think if we get them boards, it could be good.
Mitch clogs that middle up though, man. That was so apparent in the playoffs. Not so much the Cleveland series, you know what I'm saying, but the
even the Utah.
The Miami series. I'm talking about Big Mitch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so he clogs that middle up. He can't shoot more than 2 feet from the basket. So that's a spacing issue too. Like we saw how good the Heat were at spacing. I think we were a better team than the Heat, but their spacing was so incredible, man. Like they always had that open shot. But I think I think I think the Knicks could make it to the Eastern Conference. I don't think Miami's going to make it back to the Eastern Conference final. I don't think Dame Lillard's going to Miami this year. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I don't think they have the pieces. I think that trade would have probably been done already.
Yeah, I agree too.
Philly's in shambles. The Sixers are in shambles, right? Miami, like I just said, I don't know. Boston changed the whole dynamic of their team. We don't know what on paper we know what they look like, but we don't know how that's going to translate.
They signed Porzingis and he got plantar fasciitis, so being a tall motherfucker, that shit might keep him out for a while.
He's staying getting hurt, you know what I'm saying? And is Jaylen Brown gonna have the same drive now that he's a fucking multi-fucking millionaire and shit?
You gotta watch out with Brooklyn on the come up in that division.
Brooklyn's on the come up, but I don't see them like as a super threat to the Knicks. But they got a couple of nice pieces. And who else am I missing? Toronto. They lost Van Vliet, right?
Yeah, they lost Van Vliet to Houston. They only got Pascal,
Siakam, and Anobi still, and a couple other guys. But
and then you got the Bucks, but I don't know. The Bucks don't scare me either.
They don't. The Knicks play good against the Bucks.
Giannis terrifies me. Giannis terrifies.
No. Giannis
looks good,
but
bro.
like,
yeah.
But we still
probably
play
still the
them
best
at a
team
high
in the East.
level.
Mm-hmm. That's why, I felt like if we played the Bucks in the playoffs, we probably could have beat the Bucks too in the playoffs. Instead, if Miami didn't win, I felt like the Knicks could have been the team to beat them too.
And me and Q argue with our nephew Mambo all the time. I heard he had a big argument the other day. I will talk about that off air. But now we argue. He's a Heat fan. We argue that the Heat actually, to me, the Heat beat all her teams. You know what I'm saying? And Giannis just getting that procedure done on his knee, right? I think that to me that's proof. That's proof was in the pudding right there. So Mambo, I fucking win again. But let's go Knicks, man. I'll be there opening day. I was there last year. I'll be there again. I'm Q was there with me. Hopefully Ed will be there with us. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, that shit. I'm excited about the Knicks, man. So
hand out some shirts.
And we got those Knicks colors.